Good morning. We are gathering hymn time. We're gathering for our gathering hymn. Nothing redundant in that. Hymn number 354, We Laugh, We Cry. One of our less familiar hymns in the gray hymnal. We'll be doing 3 verses. We won't be doing verse number 4. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit as you are able. And we will sing hymn 354, We Laugh, We Cry. We laugh, we cry, we live, we die. We dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need those friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a time together, and with their hearts to give, we have our thoughts to receive, and we believe that sharing is an answer. A child is born among us, and we feel a special glow to lead time's endless journey as we watch the baby grow. We thrill to hear in freedom, vision freely running wild. We dedicate our minds and hearts to the spirit of this child, and we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a time to be together, and with the grace of age, we share the wonder of youth, and we believe that growing is an answer. Our lives are full of wonder, and our time is very brief. The death of one among us fills us all with pain and grief. But as we live, so will we die. And when our lives are done, the memories of we shared with friends, they will linger on. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a place to be together. We have the right to grow. We have the gift to believe that peace within our living is an answer.
Good morning. I am the Reverend Mary Gear, and I use she, her pronouns. It is so good to be here with you today, back in Salem and back in this pulpit once again. It's been a while. For those of you that I have not yet met, My husband John and I lived in Salem for 12 years, and we were members of this congregation. I served as your very first paid music director back in the day. And it was this congregation that accompanied me through my seminary training and formation. And it was in this sanctuary that I was ordained just a little more than 7 years ago. I have served congregations in McMinnville, Portland, and now I serve our congregation in Olympia, Washington. You are always in my heart, no matter where my ministry takes me. It is so good to be together. So now I invite you to just take a breath and arrive here in this space as we gather. Breathe and feel the earth solid beneath us. Take in the warmth of this community. Our opening words for today are offered by the Unitarian Universalist minister, Reverend Richard Gilbert. In the midst of a whirling day, in the hectic rush to be doing, in the frantic pace of life, pause here for just a moment. Catch your breath, relax your body, loosen your grip on life. Consider that our lives are always unfinished business. Imagine that the picture of our being is never quite complete. Allow your life to be a work in progress. Do not hurry to mold the masterpiece. Do not rush to finish the picture. Do not be impatient to complete the drawing. From beckoning birth to dawning death, we are in process, and always there is more to be done. Do not let the incompleteness weigh on your spirit. Do not despair that imperfection marks your everyday. Do not fear that we are still in the making. Let us instead be grateful that the world is still to be created. Let us give thanks that we can be more than who we are. Let us celebrate the power of the incomplete, for life is always unfinished business. Come, let us worship together.
We are here joyfully in community with purpose and with resolve. As we gather, we know that here there is love. Here there is hope. Here there is a spiritual community that welcomes anyone and everyone. As a community, we affirm our commitment to this spiritual place and to each other. Please join me as we confirm our affirmation together. The words are in your order of service. Love is our doctrine. Compassion is our way. Here we seek to create a joyful home for free religious exploration, build a community of caring fellowship, nurture the hopes, and serve the needs of our world. Michael Babson, everyone, thank you so much. As we light our chalices today, may their flames inspire us to remember. Let us remember the light in the darkness. There's a spark of hope, even when there seems to be none. It is the kindle for the light of love, love for everyone, even when surrounded by hate. The flames ignite a beacon of peace, one that brings equity, even when turbulence abounds. The flames feed the fire for justice and fairness, and above all, it sparks acceptance for everyone, every day, even when faced with the seeds of hatred. We light 3 flames here at UUCS. The first is for our congregation, this community, this Unitarian Universalist congregation of Salem. The second is for our partner church, those who helped to form these thoughts in Šimenfalva, Transylvania, Romania. And the third is a lantern of love and hope for the children and youth, all who seek knowledge and understanding here in our congregation and for children and youth around the world. May these flames remind us that we are all connected, we are all humans, and we all deserve love without end. Please join me as we sing these flames to life. The words are in the order of service. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, wisdom, and joy.
I invite all the young ones and those who are young at heart to join me up here for a story this morning. Come on up. Lovely. How nice to see you all this morning. Come on up. Wonderful. Thanks for bringing your smiling faces here today. The story that I have to share this morning is an old Jewish folk tale called The Village and the Fiddler. And because Sunday mornings are sometimes magical, we have a fiddler here today. So Mark has agreed to show us what a fiddler is. Does anybody know what a fiddler is? A fiddler? Yeah. Someone who plays the fiddle. Well, yeah. So a fiddle is a violin that plays folk music. And we heard Mark just a little bit ago play on his violin a piece of classical music. And he said, yes, I'm a fiddler. I can do that for you. So this is what a fiddler is. Yay. Thank you so much, Mark. So imagine with me, if you will, a long time ago, there once was a small village. And in that village, the people worked really hard in the fields, thank you, Mark, to support their families and grow food. And they worked so hard that they hardly had time to smile, let alone to celebrate. But one day, a fiddler wandered into their village square. Now, this was a fiddler who wore kind of a tattered jacket, and their face was brilliant and light with joy. They had a fiddle strapped across their back, and they walked into the village square, and they looked around, and they unstrapped their fiddle, and they tuned it, and they began to play, just like Mark was just playing. Can you imagine in a village square that happening? No? Imagine really, really hard. So this fiddler was playing in the village square, and first, the people of the village were like, huh? They looked really confused. This had never happened before. What was happening in their village? But before long, their feet started tapping, And their hands started clapping. Can you imagine clapping with them? You got it, absolutely. And before long, the villagers were dancing in the square. And they danced, and the fiddler played, and they danced, and the fiddler played till the sun went down and all through the night. And the next morning, when the sun came up at dawn, the people said, "Stay with us forever. We want you to stay." And the fiddler said, "Oh, good people, I can't stay with you. I have to move on. But you don't need me in order to find joy. Music is how you find joy. Make music together, sing and dance, and it will remind you that the way to find joy inside is through music. I'm going to move on, but I leave my most important lesson with you." And so the fiddler left the village, but after that day, the village was transformed. Because during the day, the villagers would sing, and at night, the villagers would dance, and most importantly, the villagers had joy in their hearts. So the fiddler reminds us that we can find joy by making music together. And I'm going to invite us to make some music together right now by humming together. So I'm going to start humming in a minute, and I want you to just join in humming with me. And I invite you to put your hand on your chest or on your belly so that when you hum, you can feel the vibrations in your body as we make music together. Are you ready? We got singing, we got humming. What could be better? What could be better? Beautiful. Thank you so much for making music with me this morning. So if the folks in the center would make your love arch, we'll send you wherever it is you're going today.
Wherever you are, walk in love. Wherever you walk in peace. Wherever you walk in beauty all around you. Our hearts go with you. Walk in love. Wherever you walk in peace. Wherever you walk in beauty all around you. Our hearts go with you.
As we prepare to witness and hold together all that is in our community this morning, I invite us to once again harmonize our bodies and our breath by humming together. So just pick a note and hum. It can harmonize, it can clash, doesn't matter. Let's just make the vibrations together and feel them in your body with your hand on your heart or on your belly. And we'll hum for a bit, and when it naturally comes to an end, we'll be in silence for a few moments together.
Hello, my name is Joan Stembridge, and I'm honored to be today's Lifeline's lay representative. We have a number of joys and sorrows, and we'll start with joys today, lighting a candle. Number one, the Family Promise team. 94% of Family Promise families get homes. The volunteers in our congregation make a huge difference in their lives. Much appreciation. Another joy from Jill Baker. I'm back. And I could use a ride to church. So Jill, wherever you are, she would love a ride to church. And in Hanneman Hall, we can work on that. Another joy from Adina Reeve. Almost a year after a knee injury, with the help of PT exercises, my knee is almost as good as new. I've been walking 2 miles a day with no pain. That's pretty great. And then we have two very profound sorrows. The first is from John Chinberg, sharing a deep concern for Leah Yoder Anderson. Leah unexpectedly passed away last Sunday. She was smart, funny, and an excellent school counselor. So many will miss her. And then we have from Margaret Gregg. Catherine Young's sister to Lorna Young's reached out to us to let us know that Lorna is being transferred up to OHSU on Saturday evening with a diagnosed brain tumor. Lorna's daughter Rachel and Catherine are heading out from Bend to Vancouver, BC, respectively, to be with her by tomorrow. Please keep our dear Lorna in your thoughts and send healing wishes for her recovery. And I will add that Lorna is right now in surgery at OHSU, and we will keep you informed as to how all that's going. Lifeline's lay ministers, one last. This is for all of the joys and sorrows in our hearts that are unspoken, and we honor those. You can find how to reach us on the back of the order of service, plus we will be in Hanneman Hall after the service. And I might add, those of us who know Lorna and may want to gather, come to the table and we'll figure out a way to do that if you'd like to visit a bit together. Thank you.
We'll now sing our heart song, which is 1002 in the teal hymnal. Please remain seated as we sing it through 2 times. Sing with me. Sing with me. Sing with me, oh my soul.
Our first reading today is an excerpt from Susan Beaumont's book, How to Lead When You Don't Know Where You're Going, Leading in a Liminal Space. Beaumont is a congregational consultant, coach, and spiritual director. She published this book in 2019, just in time for the global pandemic. The liminal period is fraught with both opportunity and danger. It can be an incredibly freeing season in which old structures are released, new identities and possibilities are explored, and power is reassigned. It is also a troubling time during which people are subject to the lure of tricksters. Leaders and followers may be tempted down false pathways which serve no useful purpose. The natural human response is to resist liminality and to strive backward to the old familiar identity or forward to the unknown identity, rather than wander in the wilderness. Our resistance stems from the fact that liminality begins with and ending an experience of loss. And humankind resists loss. We also resist the unknowing inherent in not yet, the loss of control over our own destiny.
My goodness, what a time we're in. As a nation, we are facing challenges that we've never seen before. It's a time of breathtaking destruction, and it is painful for so many and incredibly sad. During this time, I've been in touch with lots of feelings, my own and those around me, including my congregation in Olympia. And that includes a sense sometimes of helplessness and loss. And one evening when I was sitting with my husband and we were talking about the challenges of that particular day, I took a moment to just notice how I was feeling in my body and in my spirit. And it came to me as a flash as I blurted out, "Oh, this feels like COVID all over again." Do you remember those first few weeks of COVID? Mm-hmm. We didn't know what was happening, and it was all happening so fast. When we got confusing and conflicting information, and there was a ton of misinformation flying around. When we were waiting for leadership and guidance about what to do or not do. Do you remember what it felt like in that time? Feel familiar? Yeah. A few weeks ago, we marked the 5-year anniversary of that global pandemic shutdown. And we are still recovering from that time, working through what has changed and what has remained, working through the losses and the collective trauma of living through an event that changed us forever. And here we are now in another time of great peril, and the change that feels like it's beyond our control. I have a same sense of disbelief, shock, and confusion that I felt then. How could this be happening? The circumstances aren't the same, and yet it feels familiar. And it's familiar, I think, because we are in liminal space once again. The term liminal comes from the Latin word limen, which means a threshold. It's the space between what was and what has not yet come into being. It's standing in between. A threshold is a place of uncertainty, waiting, not knowing. It's a place of transition, of loss, and of anticipation. Anthropologists use the term liminal space to describe the ambiguity or disorientation that occurs in the middle of rites of passage, when participants are no longer who they were, yet they haven't quite transformed into who they will be. That's what the rite of passage helps with. In many cultures, including our own, we mark a change in our life with a rite of passage that helps us with the internal transition that comes with a change. So we have rituals like a child dedication, a wedding, a funeral, or a memorial. Even the joys and sorrows that you share every Sunday is a way to mark something that has changed and help us with the internal process of transition. And during a ritual's liminal stage, that in between, participants stand on the threshold between their previous way and a new way, which the ritual helps them travel. Someone is in between, moving from this to that on the journey of life. Organizational consultant William Bridges makes a distinction between change and transition that I think is helpful. He defines change as situational. It's the external events that make things different than they've been. Those events that bring something new into our lives, sometimes welcome, sometimes not. A birth, a death, a marriage, a divorce, a job change, retirement, a pandemic, an election. Transition, on the other hand, is psychological. It's the internal process that includes reorientation to the world and a redefinition of ourselves and our role in the world. Transition can be a response to change, but it's actually something quite different. Bridges tells us that the irony of change and transition is that very little that we do to prepare for a change actually prepares us for the internal transition. We can plan for a change, like an expectant parent plans for the birth of a child. They get the basic stuff like a car seat and diapers, and they prepare their environment to welcome a new family member. Yet none of those things prepares them for the internal shift from being a person without responsibility for a child to being a parent. That transition requires a whole different process. Bridges teaches that every transition, that internal process that is required in response to change, every transition has 3 phases: a beginning, a middle, and an end, but not quite in that order. Because actually every transition begins with an ending. A transition begins with a goodbye. Once there's a change, the first thing that happens is that we say goodbye. We disengage from what was. We disidentify with how we used to be, and we can feel disoriented. Things are not as they were. Things change. And with every transition, there is a sense of loss, even when a change is welcome. And the second phase of a transition is what Bridges calls the neutral zone. This is the in-between, where there is emptiness and uncertainty. Things are not as they were, but they're not quite how they're going to be. This is the liminal space, the sacred space. This phase requires us to surrender to the unknown, to step into the mystery of not knowing where it will lead us. In this phase, we can feel vulnerable, lost, and empty. We can also experience freedom and creativity. We are asked to be open and flexible. Nationally, we are in liminal space right now. Everything is changing. And for me, I know the internal process is challenging. I feel very vulnerable as I watch long-standing institutions being dismantled. It feels like a time of betrayal of the trust that I place in people and institutions that are being violated, and the support that I trusted would be there might not be. This is a feeling of existential vulnerability, and at this level, it's new to me. It might be new to some of you as well. But what I notice is that it's not new to everyone. There are many people for whom the system as it existed didn't work. The systems and structures were never created for them. They were never meant to be included. We call that oppression and injustice. I have privilege because many of the systems worked for me and people like me. So this time gives me the opportunity for more understanding and compassion for those who have felt vulnerable and betrayed by our unjust systems all along. And I can draw strength and courage from that in a time when we are called to work harder for more justice and freedom for everyone. And not only are we in between in liminal space as a nation, you are a congregation that is in liminal space right now. You said goodbye to your long-acting minister not very long ago, and now you are in between, figuring out who you will be in the future. You might be feeling grief and loss, uncertainty, vulnerability, emptiness. Some of you might be feeling open and creative. I want you to hear me when I say that there is nothing wrong with you. All of those seem like really normal responses to an extraordinary time. The world is uncertain. The congregation is uncertain. You might feel a little chaotic right now. You are very fortunate to have Reverend Monica to accompany you on this journey through your liminal space, because none of us should go through transition alone. In William Bridges' model of transition, after the ending and the neutral zone, the third and last phase is a new beginning. When we were in the liminal space of COVID, we hoped for a post-COVID world, and we had little idea of what it would be like. Some of us longed to go back to how we were before. Some of us longed for it to just be over so we could move on with it. And we endured the in-between of not what was and not sure what will be. And in between, living through that liminal space, we built courage, resilience, and trust.
Today's second reading is from Cultivating Trust as an Organizing Strategy, Lessons from Mycelium Mushrooms by Adaku Utah. Utah is the senior manager of movement building programs at the Movement Building Project, a national nonprofit organization that catalyzes social change through research, relationships, and resources. She was born in Baltimore and raised in Festac, Nigeria, naming herself as a Igbo queer non-binary person. It takes courage to bring our trust forward and invite another person to meet us here. This sometimes sure, often shaky surrender is an opportunity to discover something deeper than the confines of our individual experience. A catalyst to grow beyond ourselves, to find the places where love can exist even when we are unsure of the destination, to embrace a kind of faith brave enough to yield a wider focus, often unseen with a singular lens.
So here we are in liminal space. And here's some things that we know about liminal times. Because they begin with an ending of what was, there is always grief. And boy, do we avoid grief. Grief, among other things, grief is tiring. And so liminal times are exhausting. It's hard to hold on to some sense of order and stability while everything can be feeling dangerous and is changing. During liminal times, we will encounter the limits of our tolerance for ambiguity and uncertainty. We face our limits, and most of us don't like to face our limits very much, even though all of us have them. And uncertainty causes worry and anxiety about what might happen and what is to come. And that is tiring too. And last, transitions require us to be psychologically vulnerable. That means having an open mind, an open heart, an open spirit. And even while psychological vulnerability can be a source of creativity and joy, it can also be a source of fear. Transition requires that we step into a place of grieving, of not knowing, and of not being in control. Being vulnerable requires that we step into the mystery, that we embrace the unknown, and that we risk opening ourselves emotionally. It requires that we trust. I find wisdom in the writing of Dr. Rick Hansen of the Wellspring Institute for Neuroscience and Contemplative Wisdom, and he suggests 3 ways to resist fear and stay positive in these challenging liminal times. The first is to take appropriate action. Take a walk, call a friend or a family member, make a sign and go to a protest, volunteer, go to church. Action binds anxiety. And that means that the best way to combat worry and fear is to do something, preferably something constructive. Doing almost anything is better than doing nothing. The second resilient strategy is tend and befriend. Tend and befriend. That means take care of each other and connect with other people. And remember that other people are stressed and scared right now too. So we can offer grace and understanding to each other. We need each other more than ever during liminal times because living through them is hard, and we need support and encouragement, especially when we are feeling despair and hopeless. Liminal space requires relationships, that we take care of each other and that we take care of our community. Now more than ever, we must know that we are in this together, waiting together, holding each other, working together, holding hope together. And the third strategy for building resilience is to find ways to calm and center ourselves. If we can be as calm as possible, we bring that calm into the world with us. Spiritual practice and rituals allow us to feel what we are feeling, whatever that is, grief, worry, excitement, creativity, all the feelings. And spiritual practices help us remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. This is a time for more spiritual practice and ritual, not less. So here we are again in a liminal time, a time of transformation when the outcome is unknown. As a nation, we are facing something we've never faced before. As a congregation, you are facing change and being asked to transition to whatever it is that comes next, and that is unknown right now. Transformation means becoming something different. Whether it is positive or not is a matter of perspective and sometimes opinion. And while there are many things that we can't control in liminal times, how we transform, how we transition is up to us. So in this time, we are called to deep communal discernment about our next best steps. And that requires slowing down, listening deeply, and being curious, being with the unknowing. It requires moving beyond our personal experience to include the whole, especially that which is different than us. I'm not saying that we wait and do nothing in this time. I'm saying that we take the time to discern our next best steps, whatever those may be. There are new leaders and paths emerging as a nation, and I'm guessing in this congregation too. So we have to be ready to listen and follow them. We can also remember the good news that we know that we can survive and thrive in liminal times. We've done it before, not long ago, and we can do it again. Some people say that life itself is liminal space. We are born and we die, and everything else is uncertain, in transition, disorienting, and also wondrous and creative and joyful. So you could say that learning to live in liminal space is a part of learning to live. Building courage, resilience, and trust is a part of living in this world. As we go forth from this day, may we rest in the knowing and the not knowing, for they are part of the same. May we hold hope for a future grounded in love and the peace that comes from justice. And may we rest in knowing that the web of life holds us always, and we are not alone. Let's engage in the spiritual practice of humming one more time together. Place a hand on your chest or your belly, and let's hum and move into a time of silence together.
We are a giving people. We give our time, precious hours from our days and weeks and months to add to the work of this place. We give our resources, prepared goods, baked goods, snacks to help nourish and sustain ourselves and others. We give our monies, the amount we are comfortable and able to donate for this place to be sustained, for the work of the professionals and the volunteers who create this sacred space. Each month we focus and share our plate with a community resource, something that helps fill the needs of our world. This month we are sharing the plate with our Minister's Discretionary Fund, so that members of our community who may need a helping hand are able to seek that help here. And as a community, we donate food and money to the Marion Polk Food Share to help nourish those who face food insecurity by adding to the goods placed in our little red wagon or by donating cash. Oh, I am so very grateful to be a part of this community. You wonderful people who do so very much, and I thank you deeply and sincerely for all that you give in every way that you give. You may donate funds through our website by using a QR code that you'll find there, or by putting a donation here in the sanctuary as the bags are passed this morning. We really do appreciate each and every one. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark. Mark Babson, everyone. Please join us next Sunday, April 20, to hear Tom Ellis talk about 3 core values: Dharma, Gaia, and I hope I say this right, Satyagraha. They're the 3 pillars of his personal faith and commitment to the universal truth that is common to all wisdom traditions worldwide, to the living earth, and to Gandhi's practice of nonviolent resistance to evil. Today, there is going to be a special board forum. Come and hear about from the Finance Committee about next year's budget that will be voted on June 8th during our annual business meeting. It's after the service here in the sanctuary. And there are so many things happening here at UUCS at any one time. Some of them are listed in your order of service. Remember that next Saturday, there is an egg hunt that we're sponsoring for the community here. So contact Ari or Molly if you're able to help volunteer with any of those projects. And this is Family Promise Week. So there are no RE projects next Sunday. And hopefully all the places have been filled, and we will be giving those folks who come to visit us this next week wonderful meals and good fellowship. And finally, I would like to remind you to receive these news tidbits. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, or sign up for the weekly Friday mailings that give you information about what's going on. You can do that by calling the office or visiting the table in the fellowship hall. And last but not least, our good friend and longtime member George Struble has something very important that he would like to share with us all today. George.
Our church relies on special contributions to fund things outside our regular operating budget, things like augmenting the projection system or replacing the carpet. We value those contributions. Significant contributions are recognized in 2 plaques that did hang in the foyer and will soon be in Hanneman Hall. One commemorates bequests. The other celebrates contributions from members while very much alive. Every year we add to those plaques. This year, this second plaque added the name of David Haber. Thank you, David.
Oh, there's so much work to be done for justice, equity, and equality, now more than ever. Reverend Mary has brought our social justice lantern forward, and we take the light from our chalice to bring light for the social justice lantern, which keeps the light glowing and gives fire to the issues that make UUCS the place that it is for all. And then, as the flames of our chalices are released and the smoke filters upward where the light of the universe will someday, somehow make this a better world, the light fades, but all of us can hold the memory in our hearts with gladness, knowing that we will gather together again and the flames will be kindled once more.
If I could have you turn to your gray hymnal, we're going to be doing our closing hymn, number 311, Let It Be a Dance. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able as we sing this joyous hymn. This is a fun one. it be a dance with you. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let the dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. Reap and harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let that be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And a willow with the wind. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born with old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. To the top. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star come at night. When the dark is no light. If nothing wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the music let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. Round and round we go again. Let it be a dance. Woo! Woo! We got a woo!
What a wonderful time we've had together today and with our old new friend, Reverend Mary Geer. Place a hand in someone else's or touch a shoulder if you will, or simply be here and now as we recite our closing words together. May faith in the spirit of life, hope for the community of earth, and love for the sacred in one another be ours now and in all the days to come. Blessed be.